The 17 alchemical rituals to dissolve money blocks and attract wealth, the daily practice of becoming. What if I told you that the grand, life-changing financial breakthrough you've been seeking doesn't arrive like a lightning strike? It doesn't appear in a single lottery win, or a sudden inheritance, or one lucky investment. No, true, lasting abundance is quieter than that. It is cultivated. It is built moment by moment in the sacred space between waking and sleeping. It is found not in what you do once, but in what you become through daily practice. So if you feel stuck, if you feel that you are doing all the spiritual work but seeing no outer results, I ask you to consider this. Perhaps the universe is not ignoring your call for more. Perhaps it is waiting for you to build a vessel strong enough to hold it. Welcome, fellow alchemist, to a journey of profound transformation. My name is Elias Vance, and I'm here to guide you through the principles that bridge the spiritual with the practical. Today, we do not speak of theories. We speak of action. We speak of ritual. In this guide, you will receive a complete blueprint of 17 alchemical rituals, daily practices designed to gently but powerfully dissolve the subconscious money blocks that have dictated your financial reality for far too long. We will move beyond mere positive thinking and into the realm of embodied consciousness. You will learn not just what to think, but how to be, how to transform the mundane acts of daily life, waking, looking in the mirror, even paying a bill, into sacred moments of wealth creation. This is not a collection of hacks or shortcuts. It is a path of mastery, a deeper understanding that will realign your energy, heal old wounds of guilt and shame, and retune your entire being to the frequency of abundance. So find a quiet space, allow yourself to be present, and let us begin the work. Abundance is not something you acquire. It is something you become. Chapter 1. The Hidden Roots of Financial Resistance. Before we can build, we must first understand the ground upon which we stand. And for so many spiritually minded people, the ground is unsteady. It is filled with the hidden roots of financial resistance, tangled beliefs that quietly sabotage our most sincere efforts. You've likely experienced this. You set powerful intentions. You visualize. You recite affirmations until your voice is hoarse. You do everything the books tell you to do, and yet your financial reality remains stubbornly the same. A quiet frustration begins to build. A seed of doubt is planted. Does this law of attraction even work for money? The answer is yes. It works perfectly. It is always working, responding not to the words you shout, but to the beliefs you whisper in the quietest corners of your subconscious mind. And that is where the conflict lies. Your conscious mind desires freedom, prosperity, ease. But your subconscious, the vast and powerful engine of your reality, may be running an entirely different program. A program of guilt, shame, and unworthiness around money. I remember speaking with a client, a wonderfully gifted artist who created beautiful work but could barely make ends meet. He would tell me, "Elias, I affirm my abundance every single day." But as we dug deeper, we uncovered a core belief instilled in him as a child that to be a pure artist, one must struggle, that money corrupts art. His conscious mind was pushing the accelerator of abundance, but his subconscious foot was slammed firmly on the brake of that old, inherited story. His lack of wealth wasn't a sign of failure. It was a sign of his deep, subconscious integrity to a belief that no longer served him. This is the nature of a money block. is not an external force punishing you. It is an internal conflict, an outdated piece of code running in your energetic operating system. These blocks are often formed in childhood, absorbed from our parents, our culture, our religion. They sound like money is the root of all evil. Rich people are greedy and dishonest. You have to work brutally hard to earn every penny. It's more spiritual to be poor. Wanting money is materialistic and selfish. Do any of those sound familiar? They are not just phrases. They are energetic signatures. Each one carries a frequency of resistance. When you hold these beliefs, even unconsciously, and then try to manifest wealth, you are sending a profoundly mixed signal to the universe. It's like trying to tune a radio to two different stations at once. The result is static, confusion, frustration. The core of this resistance often boils down to two primal emotions: guilt and shame. Guilt says, I have done something wrong by wanting this. Shame says, there is something wrong with me for wanting this. This is the great spiritual trap. We are taught that to be good, to be enlightened, we must renounce the material world. But this is a deep misunderstanding of spiritual law. You are a spiritual being, having a human experience, and money is simply a form of energy in this human domain. It is neutral. It is a tool, an amplifier. It will amplify the greed of a greedy person and the generosity of a generous person. The energy is not in the money. It is in the consciousness of the one who wields it. To heal this, we cannot simply fight the old belief. You cannot yell at a shadow and expect it to disappear. You must turn on a light. Fighting the belief only gives it more energy. Instead, we must dissolve it. We must transmute it. And this is done not through force, but through gentle, consistent daily practice. Through ritual. A ritual is a conscious action infused with sacred intention. It is a way of speaking to the subconscious mind in its own language, the language of symbol, repetition, and emotion. Your subconscious doesn't learn from lectures, it learns from experience. And that is what we are about to create for it. A new set of experiences, daily experiences that prove, on a cellular level, that you are worthy of abundance, that it is safe for you to be wealthy, that your prosperity is a blessing not just for you, but for the world. So if you've ever felt that internal conflict, that nagging voice that whispers you don't deserve it, know this: you are not broken. You're simply running an old program. And in the chapters that follow, we are going to give you the tools to lovingly and gracefully uninstall it, and to install a new operating system. An operating system of prosperity consciousness. This is the foundational work, the clearing of the ground, because you cannot build a temple of abundance on a foundation of unworthiness. It's time to excavate those old roots, to thank them for the lessons they taught you, and to prepare the soil for a new, magnificent garden to grow. Chapter 2. The Alchemist's Framework for Daily Ritual. The word ritual can conjure images of elaborate ceremonies, ancient rites performed under a full moon. And while those have their place, the alchemy we speak of today is far more intimate, more accessible. It is the alchemy of the everyday. It is the transformation of the mundane into the sacred. The alchemist's greatest secret was never about turning physical lead into physical gold. That was a metaphor. The true work, the great work, has always been about turning the lead of a limited, fear-based consciousness into the gold of an expanded divine awareness. And your life right now is your laboratory. So what then is the framework? How does a simple action become a powerful ritual? It hinges on three core principles: Intention, attention, and repetition. First, intention. A ritual without intention is just an empty gesture. It's the difference between mindlessly brushing your teeth and consciously cleansing your mouth to speak words of truth and prosperity. Before each ritual we will explore, you must set a clear, focused intention. Your intention is the command you give to your subconscious mind and to the universe. It is the why behind the what. It is not a hopeful wish. It is a declaration. For instance, the intention is not, "I hope I get more money." The intention is, with this action, I am embodying the frequency of unshakable worthiness. Feel the difference? One is passive, the other is active. One is asking, the other is becoming. Intention is the spiritual DNA you encode into every action. Second, attention. This is the principle of presence. In our hyper-distracted world, our attention is our most valuable currency. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. A ritual demands your full, undivided attention. When you perform your morning clarity practice, you are not simultaneously scrolling through emails or planning your day. You are fully present in the moment, with your breath, with the sensation of your body, with the intention you have set. This focused attention is what magnifies the energy of the ritual. It carves new neural pathways in your brain. It tells your subconscious, this matters. Pay attention. This is our new reality. I once worked with a hedge fund manager, a man who lived his life in a blur of numbers and caffeine. He wanted more peace, more fulfillment, but couldn't slow down. I gave him a single ritual: to drink his first cup of coffee in the morning in complete silence, with no phone, no television, just focusing on the warmth of the mug, the aroma, the taste. His intention was, I am worthy of 5 minutes of peace. The first week he called it torture. He was agitated, his mind racing, but he persisted. By the third week, he told me that 5-minute ritual had become the most important part of his day. It had rewired his nervous system. By giving his full attention to one simple sacred act, he had taught himself that he was in control of his inner state, not the other way around. His outer world began to reflect this newfound inner calm. That is the power of attention. Third, repetition. This is perhaps the most crucial and most misunderstood principle. The subconscious mind learns through repetition. It's how you learn to walk, to speak, to ride a bike. You did not do it once. You did it over and over until it became automatic, an integrated part of you. The same is true for building prosperity consciousness. Performing a ritual once may create a pleasant feeling. Performing it every single day for 30, 60, 90 days creates a new identity. Repetition is what overcomes the inertia of your old programming. Your old beliefs about money have been repeated to you and by you thousands upon thousands of times. They have deep, well-worn grooves in your psyche. A single new thought is like a tiny stream of water trying to change the course of a massive canyon. But with daily repetition, that tiny stream becomes a steady river, and over time it will carve a new path. A path of abundance. This is why many people fail with manifestation. They get excited, they try a technique for a few days, and when they don't see immediate results, they give up. They have underestimated the power of the old momentum. Daily ritual is your commitment to creating a new momentum. It is a testament to your faith in the process. Each day you perform your ritual, you are casting a vote for your new reality. You are saying to the universe, this is who I am now. So the alchemist's framework is simple but profound. Set a clear intention before you begin. What is the spiritual purpose of this action? Give it your full attention while you perform it. Be present. Be mindful. Commit to daily repetition to reprogram the subconscious and build a new energetic momentum. This is the container for the magic. These three principles will turn a simple morning meditation into a declaration of worthiness. They will transform the act of paying a bill from a moment of stress into an act of gratitude. They will alchemize your daily life. In the following chapters, we will pour specific, powerful practices into this framework. But remember, the power is not just in the practices themselves. The power is in the consciousness you bring to them. You are the alchemist. These rituals are your tools. Let us now learn how to use them. Outro, abundance is who you are. And so, we arrive not at an end, but at a new beginning. We have journeyed through the alchemical laboratory of your daily life, discovering the tools to transmute the lead of financial resistance into the pure gold of prosperity consciousness. You now hold the keys, the morning alchemy to set your frequency, the forgiveness ledger to release the past, the mirror of worth to reclaim your divine inheritance. You understand how to transform every financial transaction into a sacred act, and how to ground your energy in unshakable calm. These are not just ideas. They are practices. They are the bedrock of a new reality. As you move forward from this space, know that this is your work now. To integrate these rituals, to make them your own, to commit to them not as a chore, but as the ultimate act of self-love. Imagine for a moment the person you will be in 6 months, a year, after greeting each day with these sacred practices. Imagine the calm confidence, the sense of deserving, the ease with which you navigate your financial world. This is not a distant dream. It is the natural outcome of the seeds you have chosen to plant today. As our time together concludes, your journey continues. On the screen now you will find a few paths forward, curated for your transformation. On the left, you will find the Mind Over Money playlist, a collection of guided meditations and affirmations to support your daily practice. And on the right, I have personally selected our guide, the 9 Alchemical Steps to Healing, Deep Money Wounds and Reclaiming Your Worth, as the perfect next step to deepen the healing we have begun here today. Choose the path that calls to you. Remember, the goal was never to acquire abundance. The goal was, and always will be, to realize that you are abundance. The outer world is simply a reflection of this inner truth. This is Elias Vance reminding you the greatest wealth you will ever own is the knowledge of who you truly are. Chapter 3. Morning Alchemy. Setting your abundance frequency. The way you begin your day is a prophecy. The first hour of your waking consciousness is the rudder that steers the ship of your experience for the next 16. If you awaken and your first act is to reach for your phone, to immediately flood your mind with the emergencies, opinions and anxieties of the outside world, you have surrendered your power before your feet have even touched the floor. You have tuned your energetic radio to the frequency of chaos and reactivity, and then you wonder why your day feels like a struggle. Morning alchemy is the sacred art of reclaiming that first hour. It is a simple yet profoundly powerful sequence of rituals designed to intentionally tune your being to the frequency of abundance, clarity, and worthiness before the world has a chance to tell you who you are. It consists of 3 movements: the clarity breath, the mirror of worth, and the sacred mantra. Let us begin with the first. Before the phone, before the coffee, before the mental to-do list begins its frantic dance, I invite you to practice the clarity breath. The moment you become aware that you are awake while still lying in bed, place one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Do not rush to get up. Grant yourself these 90 seconds. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, feeling your belly expand for a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 4, feeling the life force within you, a universe of potential in that stillness. And then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6, releasing not just air, but every remnant of sleep, every lingering dream, every trace of yesterday's anxieties. Repeat this just 3 times. But in those 3 breaths, your intention is this: I am clearing my inner space to receive the abundance of this new day. That's it. You're not trying to solve problems or plan your life. You are simply creating a space, a clean, quiet, sacred space within you. You are signaling to your subconscious that your inner peace is the first priority of your day. Everything else can wait. Now, for the second movement, the mirror of worth. This practice is potent, and I must be honest with you. It may be the most uncomfortable and therefore the most transformational ritual in this entire guide. And I know this might challenge you. It's okay to feel a sense of resistance. That means we're touching on a truth that needs to be healed. After you've risen, go to a mirror. Before you brush your teeth, before you analyze your reflection for flaws, simply stand there and look yourself directly in the eyes. Not at your hair, not at your skin. Look into your own pupils. See the consciousness that is looking back at you. Most of us haven't truly done this since we were children. We glance, we critique, we groom, but we rarely connect. I had a client, a brilliant woman who had built a successful consulting business but felt like a fraud. She was terrified of this exercise. For the first week, she told me she could only look at her own forehead. The feeling of shame was that intense. I asked her to persist gently. The second week, she could meet her own gaze for 2 seconds. By the end of the month, she was able to look into her own eyes and for the first time feel not judgment, but a profound sense of compassion. That was the turning point. Her income doubled in the next 6 months. Why? Because she finally, on a subconscious level, believed she was worthy of receiving the value she was creating. So you will stand before the mirror, look yourself in the eye, and you will speak the following words aloud. It is critical that you speak them. Your subconscious needs to hear them in your own voice. Say, I am willing to see the divine worth that exists within me. I'm open to loving and accepting myself exactly as I am today. It is safe for me to be powerful, prosperous, and free. Place your hand on your heart as you say it, and just hold your own gaze for 30 seconds. Breathe. Allow whatever feelings come up, discomfort, sadness, disbelief, to simply be there without judgment. You are not trying to force a feeling. You are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your morning mind. Finally, the third movement, the sacred mantra, flows directly from the mirror work. As you turn away from the mirror and begin your morning routine, making your bed, preparing your coffee or tea, you will repeat one powerful mantra. This is your energetic theme song for the day. A simple, powerful declaration of truth. A great one to begin with is this: my inner world creates my outer world. Today, I build a world of abundance, Repeat it softly to yourself. Feel the vibration of the words. Let it be the soundtrack to your first few actions. This mantra bridges the sacred space you've just created with the practical world you're about to step into. It reminds you that every action you take from this moment forward is an act of creation, the clarity breath, the mirror of worth, the sacred mantra. This entire sequence can take less than 5 minutes, yet its impact is immeasurable. It is an act of profound spiritual discipline. It is you declaring to the universe and to yourself that your connection to abundance is more important than your connection to your email. Do this every day, and you will not have to chase prosperity. It will begin to find you, drawn to the clear, worthy, and intentional frequency you are radiating from the very first light of dawn. Chapter 4. The Forgiveness Ledger. Releasing financial guilt and shame. There is a weight that many of us carry, a heavy, invisible cloak woven from the threads of past financial failures, the bad investment that haunts you, the credit card debt you accumulated in your 20s, the business that didn't succeed, the opportunities you missed out of fear. Each of these is more than a memory. It is a stored energetic charge in your body, a pocket of guilt and not of shame. And as long as you carry this weight, you are broadcasting a frequency of punishment and lack. You cannot build a future of wealth while you are energetically anchored to the mistakes of the past. To move forward, we must release the anchor. This is the purpose of the Forgiveness Ledger. It is a profound ritual of emotional alchemy, designed to neutralize the energetic charge of your past and set you free. This is not about condoning poor decisions. It is about acknowledging that you did the best you could with the consciousness you had at the time. It is about reclaiming the energy you have tied up in self-blame, so you can invest it in creating your abundant future. Here is the practice. Set aside at least 30 minutes of uninterrupted time. This is sacred work. Treat it as such. Find a quiet space, light a candle if you wish, and take a journal and a pen. This must be done with pen and paper. The physical act of writing is essential to moving the energy out of your body and onto the page. At the top of the page, write the Forgiveness Ledger. Now take a few deep breaths, using the clarity breath from our morning ritual, and set this intention. My intention is to release all guilt and shame from my past, and to see every experience as a lesson on my path to wisdom. Now begin to write. Create a list. Write down every single financial memory that carries even a hint of negative emotion. Do not judge or edit yourself. Let it pour out. It might look something like this. That time I loaned money to a friend and never got it. Back the thousands of dollars of debt I accrued on clothes and dinners, not investing in that stock when I had the chance, feeling ashamed for not being able to afford that vacation with my friends, the secret belief that I'm simply bad with money, the guilt I feel for wanting more than my parents had. Go on for as long as you need. Dig deep. Be brutally honest. No one will ever see this but you. The simple act of naming these shadows and bringing them into the light begins to strip them of their power. They thrive in the darkness of your secret thoughts. Once your list is complete, once you feel you have emptied yourself of these stories, the second part of the ritual begins. Go back to the very first item on your list. Read it aloud. Feel the emotion of it one last time. And then, next to it, or on a new page, you will write a statement of alchemical forgiveness. It follows this structure. I fully and completely forgive myself for the belief that I described the mistake or feeling. I now see that this experience was a necessary part of my journey, teaching me, name the lesson. I release all energetic charge from this memory. I'm free. So, for the examples above, it would look like this. For the loan, I fully and completely forgive myself for the belief that I was a fool for loaning that money. I now see that this experience was a necessary part of my journey, teaching me the importance of energetic boundaries and discernment. I release all energetic charge from this memory. I'm free. For the debt, I fully and completely forgive myself for the belief that I was wasteful and irresponsible. I now see that this experience was a necessary part of my journey, teaching me the difference between fleeting pleasure and true fulfillment. I release all energetic charge from this memory. I'm free. You must do this for every single item on your list. This is not a quick process. It is a deep and deliberate recalibration of your past. As you write these statements, truly try to feel the release. Breathe into it. You may feel emotional. You may cry. Good. That is the energy leaving your body. That is healing. When you have written a forgiveness statement for every item, the final act is one of symbolic release. Take the pages you wrote on, both the list of grievances and the forgiveness statements, and destroy them. You can safely burn them in a fireplace or a fireproof bowl, watching the smoke carry the old energy away. You can shred them, or you can tear them into the smallest possible pieces and throw them away, far from your home. As you do so, say aloud, I release my past. My energy is my own. I begin anew, right now. Mid-transcript CTA number 1. And as you feel that weight lifting, that sense of lightness returning to your being, you begin to understand the true power of this work. If this insight is resonating with you, if you feel a shift happening within, take a moment to share this guide with someone you know who is also on this path. A single share can be the catalyst that changes another person's journey. Let this be an act of abundant generosity. Now let us continue with the work of reclaiming your worth. You do not need to do this ritual every day, but you can return to it whenever you feel the weight of the past creeping back in. The forgiveness ledger is your tool for emotional freedom, because your financial future cannot be built on a foundation of shame. It must be built on the solid, clear ground of self-acceptance and the wisdom you have earned. Chapter 5. The Mirror of Worth. A meditation on deserving. We introduced the mirror of worth in our morning alchemy, but that was merely the opening of the door. Now we are going to step through it and explore the room beyond. This chapter is a deep dive into the heart of that practice, because within it lies the master key to unlocking wealth, the deep, cellular, unshakable feeling of deserving. You can have the best financial strategy in the world. You can have brilliant ideas and a powerful work ethic. But if, in the core of your being, you do not feel you deserve the abundance you seek, you will find endless ways to sabotage yourself. You will undercharge for your services. You will miss obvious opportunities. You will spend money as fast as it comes in. Why? Because your subconscious mind, whose primary job is to keep you safe and consistent with your deepest beliefs, will always protect your identity as someone who doesn't deserve it. To become wealthy would create an integrity breach, a psychological crisis. So it keeps you safe in the familiar territory of lack. This feeling of unworthiness is a ghost. It is a phantom built from old words, inherited beliefs, and childhood misinterpretations. It whispers that your value is conditional, that you must do more, be more, achieve more, before you are worthy of receiving. The mirror of worth meditation is how we exorcise this ghost. It is how we state a new truth so consistently that it overwrites the old lie. Let's deepen the practice. We will move beyond the simple morning affirmation into a more meditative state. Find a time when you have 5 minutes alone. Stand or sit comfortably in front of a mirror. It doesn't have to be a large one. Any mirror will do. Take 3 clarity breaths just as we learned. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 6. Settle your energy. Let the franticness of the day fall away. Now open your eyes and meet your own gaze in the mirror. Just as before, look past the surface and into the consciousness behind your eyes. For the first minute, you will do nothing but observe and offer acceptance. Your mind will likely start its chatter. You look tired. Your hair is a mess. You should be working right now. Acknowledge these thoughts as you would acknowledge clouds passing in the sky. Do not engage them. Do not fight them. Simply let them drift by and gently bring your focus back to your own eyes. Your intention here is simple. I am here. I am present with myself. After that minute of silent presence, you will begin to speak. You are going to make a series of I am declarations. These are not wishes. They are statements of fundamental truth about the spiritual being looking back at you. Speak them slowly, calmly, and with as much feeling as you can muster. If you don't believe them at first, that's okay. Your job is not to believe them. Your job is to practice them. With your hand on your heart, looking into your own eyes, say, I am worthy of love, respect, and abundance. Simply because I exist. Pause, breathe, let that land. I am a divine expression of life, and it is my birthright to thrive. Pause, breathe. I release the need to prove my worth through struggle. I allow my life to be easy and joyful. Pause, breathe. I'm a powerful creator, and I am creating a reality of financial freedom and peace. Pause, breathe. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly, because I am a worthy and open channel for abundance. Stay with your reflection for another minute in silence. See if you can notice any subtle shifts in your energy, in your posture, in the softness of your own eyes. It may be fleeting, but it's there. End the practice by saying thank you to the person in the mirror. Thank them for showing up for this difficult, sacred work. I recall a gentleman I was coaching, a stern, logical engineer who thought this was the most ridiculous exercise he'd ever heard of. But he was desperate. His finances were a mess. He reluctantly agreed to try it for 30 days. He told me later, Elias, for the first 2 weeks I felt nothing but anger. I was angry at the man in the mirror for all his past mistakes. But one morning, around day 18, as I was saying the words, something broke. I just started weeping. I was crying for him, for how hard he had been on himself his whole life. That day, he said, his relationship with himself changed. And within a year, he had paid off his debts and started a successful side business. He didn't just change his finances. He changed his identity. This is the work. It is the steady, gentle, persistent practice of reparenting yourself, of giving yourself the messages of worthiness you may never have received. Do this not just in the morning, but any time you feel a pang of self-doubt. Use the reflection in a shop window, the rearview mirror in your car. Let every reflection be a reminder, a chance to reconnect with the truth. You are worthy. You have always been worthy. Your work is not to earn it, but simply to remember it. Chapter 6. Sacred mantras. Repatterning the language of lack words are not passive descriptors of our reality. They are active creators of it. Every word you speak, every thought you think, is a command sent out into the quantum field. It's a vibration that organizes energy into form. When you repeatedly use the language of lack, you are, with the precision of a master sculptor, carving a reality of struggle. Words like, "I can't afford it," "I'm so broke," "I'll never get out of debt," are not observations. They are incantations. They are sacred mantras for scarcity, and we are surrounded by it. It's in how our friends talk about their bills, how the news talks about the economy, how we were taught to talk about money. It's so normal we don't even notice it. But your subconscious mind notices. It takes every word you say as a literal command for your reality. The ritual of sacred mantras and language repatterning is the conscious decision to become the gatekeeper of your own mouth and mind. It's about choosing your words with the care of a poet and the intention of a magician. The first step is awareness. For the next 24 hours, your only task is to listen. Listen to the words you use when you think and talk about money. Carry a small notebook or use the Notes app on your phone. Every time you catch yourself using a scarcity word or phrase, simply write it down. No judgment, just observation. You might be shocked at how long your list becomes. Common phrases include, "That's too expensive," "Money doesn't grow on trees," "It's a struggle," "I'm just not good with money," "I have to save up for that." This implies a long, arduous process of lack. Once you have your list, you have identified the enemy code. Now we rewrite it. This is language repatterning. For every scarcity phrase, you will create an abundance-aligned replacement. You will practice these new phrases until they become your automatic default. Let's transform some of the common ones. Instead of, "I can't afford it," which is a dead-end statement of victimhood, say, "I am choosing to allocate my resources elsewhere right now," or "I am creating the funds for that now." See the difference? One is a locked door. The other opens up possibility and affirms your power of choice. Instead of, "That's too expensive," which gives power to the price tag, say, "The value of that is not in alignment with my current financial flow," or simply, "I choose not to purchase that at this time." Instead of, "I'm in so much debt," which reinforces the identity of a debtor, reframe it as, "I am in the process of clearing my financial obligations and restoring my accounts to overflow." Instead of, "I have to save up for that," which feels like deprivation, try, "I am accumulating wealth for the joyful purchase of the item." This may feel awkward at first. It will feel like you're speaking a foreign language. That's because you are. You are learning the language of prosperity. The more you speak it, the more fluent you become, and the more your reality will begin to reflect your new linguistic map. The second part of this practice is the creation of your own sacred mantras. These are your core "I am" statements that you will use during your morning ritual and throughout the day to anchor you in your new reality. A powerful mantra has three qualities. It is personal, it is present tense, and it is positive. It's personal. It resonates with you emotionally. "I'm a money magnet" might work for some, but if it feels inauthentic to you, it will create resistance. It's present tense, not "I will be wealthy," but "I am wealthy now." The subconscious only understands the present moment. You must claim it now. It's positive. Frame it in terms of what you want, not what you don't. Not "I am out of debt," but "I am financially free." Here is a simple formula. I am so happy and grateful now that... And then fill in the blank with your desired reality, stated as if it has already happened. For example, I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities, through multiple sources, on a continuous basis. I am so happy and grateful now that I am a masterful steward of my wealth, making wise and profitable decisions with ease. I'm so happy and grateful now that my thriving abundance allows me to be outrageously generous with myself and others. Choose one or two of these that make you feel expansive and excited. Write them down. Place them where you will see them often. On your bathroom mirror, on your computer monitor, as your phone's wallpaper. And most importantly, speak them. Speak them in the car. Speak them in the shower. A mantra in your head is a thought. A mantra spoken aloud is a creation. The vibration of your voice sends a powerful signal to the universe. I remember a client who was a writer, deeply in love with language. He took this practice to heart. He told me he started treating his financial life like a story he was writing. He became the narrator. Instead of saying, "My bank account is low," he'd say, "The hero of our story is in the phase of accumulating energy for his next great leap." By changing the language, he changed the entire emotional tone of his journey from one of dread to one of heroic adventure. And as all good stories go, the hero triumphed. You are the author of your life story. Choose your words carefully. They are the ink with which you are writing your future. Chapter 7. The Sacred Flow. Transmuting spending into spiritual practice. For most people, the daily flow of money is a source of unconscious stress. The swipe of a credit card brings a subtle pang of anxiety. The paying of a bill is an act of resignation. The arrival of a paycheck brings a fleeting moment of relief, quickly followed by the fear of it not being enough. This entire cycle is charged with the energy of lack, fear, and obligation. But what if every single one of these transactions could be transformed? What if paying your electricity bill could become an act of gratitude? What if buying groceries could be a ritual of self-love? This is the alchemy of the sacred flow. It is about infusing every point of financial contact with mindfulness, gratitude, and intention. It is about transforming the energy of money in motion. This practice has 3 parts: transactional mindfulness, the grateful exchange, and conscious stewardship. First, transactional mindfulness. This is the sacred pause before you spend. Whether you are about to click Buy Now online or hand over your card at a cafe, take one single conscious breath. In that breath, ask yourself a simple question. Is this expenditure an act of nourishment or an act of depletion? Is it in alignment with the highest vision I hold for my life? This is not about deprivation. It is not about judging yourself for wanting a latte or a new pair of shoes. Abundance is not about austerity. It is about consciousness. The question is designed to short-circuit impulse spending that is driven by boredom, anxiety, or a need for external validation. I knew a woman who realized, through this practice, that her massive online shopping habit was actually an attempt to quiet her anxiety. The purchases brought a momentary high, followed by a deeper low of guilt. By pausing and asking the question, she began to address the root cause, the anxiety itself, rather than treating the symptom with consumption. She started spending that money on things that truly nourished her, like yoga classes and therapy, and her financial and emotional worlds transformed simultaneously. The second part is the grateful exchange. This happens during the transaction. As money leaves your hand, your account, or your wallet, your new ritual is to mentally or verbally say, "Thank you." This is a radical act. Most people feel a sense of loss when they spend. You are going to choose to feel gratitude. What are you thankful for? You are thankful for the electricity company that keeps your lights on. You are thankful for the farmer who grew your food. You are thankful to the person serving you. But most importantly, you are thankful for the money itself, for its ability to facilitate this beautiful exchange of energy. And you bless it on its way. Silently say, "I bless and release this money. May it circulate and bless all it touches, and may it return to me multiplied." You are changing the energy from "I am losing something" to "I am participating in a magnificent flow of universal energy." When you pay with this consciousness, you are eradicating the feeling of scarcity around spending. You are telling the universe that you trust the flow. You know that what goes out will return. Mid-transcript CTA number 2. And so you see, every transaction, every dollar that passes through your hands is an opportunity. It's a chance to practice scarcity or to practice abundance. It is a choice. As this becomes clearer to you, I have a question. I want you to pause and reflect, and then leave your answer in the comments below so we can all learn from each other. What is one small, everyday financial interaction that you can now commit to transforming into a sacred ritual? It could be buying your morning coffee, paying your rent, or receiving a payment. Share it below. Your commitment will inspire others. Finally, the third part is conscious stewardship. This is how you interact with your finances on a macro level. Your bank accounts, your investments, your budget. Many people avoid this. Looking at their finances brings up so much fear and shame that they prefer to live in willful ignorance. Conscious stewardship transforms this act of dread into an act of sacred responsibility. Reframe the word budget. It feels constricting, like a diet. Instead, call it your conscious cash flow plan. Once a week, set aside time to review your plan. Don't do it with a sense of dread. Do it with the consciousness of a wise and benevolent king or queen surveying their kingdom. See yourself not as a mere earner and spender, but as a steward of the universal energy that is flowing through your life. Your job is to direct this energy wisely, with love and intention. As you look at your accounts, bless them. Place your hands on your laptop or your bank statements and say, "I am a wise and responsible steward of this abundance. Every dollar I direct is a seed planted for a more prosperous future for myself and for the world." You are in partnership with this energy. You are its caretaker. When you adopt this mindset, fear dissolves and is replaced by a sense of calm, empowered control. You are no longer a victim of your finances. You are the conscious director of their flow. Chapter 8. The frequency of receiving. Embracing the energetics of worth. There is a hidden side to the coin of abundance, one that is rarely discussed. We focus so intently on manifesting, attracting, and creating that we forget the most crucial step in the process: receiving. If you are not an open and gracious receiver, you can do all the manifestation work in the universe, and the abundance will simply flow past you, unable to find a place to land. Being a poor receiver is a direct symptom of unworthiness. It shows up in subtle ways. Someone pays you a compliment. You did an amazing job on that project, and you immediately deflect it. Oh, it was nothing. The whole team helped. Someone offers to buy you lunch, and you feel an immediate, uncomfortable sense of obligation to pay them back. Someone gives you a gift, and your first thought is, oh, you shouldn't have. Each of these deflections, however polite they may seem, is an energetic broadcast to the universe that says, I am not worthy of receiving this. I am uncomfortable with pure, unearned generosity. And the universe, which is a perfect mirror, responds accordingly. It says, okay, I will stop sending you things that make you uncomfortable. I remember a client, a healer with a heart of gold, who was always giving. She gave her time, her energy, her wisdom, often for free. But she was struggling to pay her rent. We discovered that when someone did pay her for a session, she felt intensely guilty. When a friend treated her to dinner, she would insist on leaving the tip, needing to even the score. She had mastered the energy of giving, but the channel of receiving was almost completely closed. Her work was to learn that receiving is not selfish. It is the necessary completion of the energetic circuit. Without receiving, giving becomes depletion. When she learned to receive graciously, her entire practice transformed. She was able to help more people because her own cup was finally full. The ritual to heal this is deceptively simple, yet profoundly powerful. It is the ritual of the gracious thank you. For the next month, you will make a conscious commitment to receive everything, absolutely everything, that comes your way with just 2 words. Thank you. When someone compliments your shirt, your first instinct might be to say, oh, this old thing. They got it on sale. Stop, take a breath. Look them in the eye, smile, and say, thank you, that's it. Receive the energy of their appreciation fully. Let it land. When the barista gives you your coffee, don't just grab it. Make eye contact and say a genuine, heartfelt thank you. Receive the service, the care that went into it. When someone gives you a gift, resist the urge to diminish it. Simply say, thank you. This is so thoughtful. When a payment comes into your bank account, don't just see it as a number. Take a moment to feel gratitude and say, thank you. I receive this with joy and appreciation. This practice will feel strange at first, especially if you are a chronic deflector. You will feel vulnerable. That vulnerability is the feeling of your receiving channels opening up. You are retraining your nervous system to be comfortable with incoming good. You are teaching your subconscious that it is safe to receive, that you are worthy of receiving, and that receiving does not create a debt. It is simply the inhale that balances the exhale of giving. As you practice this, you will start to notice something magical. The universe, seeing that you are now an open and welcoming harbor, will start sending more ships. You'll find a parking spot right at the front. A friend will call out of the blue with the perfect solution to a problem. You'll be offered opportunities that seem to come from nowhere. This is not a coincidence. This is the law of attraction responding to your new frequency, the frequency of a gracious, worthy, and open receiver. So practice your thank you. Let it be your new mantra. See it not as a polite formality, but as a powerful, energetic declaration. Universe, I am open for business. I'm ready to receive. Chapter 9. The grounding ritual, anchoring your wealth in karmas. Your abundance begins to grow. You may be surprised to encounter a new and unexpected set of emotions. Fear, anxiety, a subtle but persistent worry. Fear of losing what you've gained. Anxiety about how to manage it responsibly. The pressure of making the right decisions. This is the paradox of up-leveling. The very thing you desired can become a new source of stress if your nervous system is not prepared to handle it. Many people who experience a sudden influx of wealth, whether through a business success, an inheritance, or a lucky break, quickly lose it. This is often described as poor financial management, but the root cause is energetic. Their nervous system is calibrated for scarcity. The high-frequency energy of abundance feels like a threat, like a live wire, so they subconsciously get rid of it through overspending, bad investments, or reckless behavior to return to the familiar, safe baseline of struggle. To build sustainable, lasting prosperity, you must upgrade your energetic container. You must teach your body and your mind that wealth is safe, that you can be both abundant and at peace. This is the purpose of the grounding ritual. It is your tool for anchoring the energy of wealth in the profound calm of your own centered being. The core of this ritual is a specific breathing technique known as the 4-7-8 breath, or the calming breath. It's a natural tranquilizer for the nervous system. It directly stimulates the vagus nerve, shifting you out of the fight-or-flight sympathetic state and into the rest and digest parasympathetic state. This is where you make your wisest decisions. This is the state of a true abundance alchemist. Here is the practice. You can do this anywhere, anytime you feel a wave of financial anxiety. Whether you're about to open a credit card bill, check your investment portfolio, or walk into a difficult financial negotiation, sit or stand with your back straight. Place the tip of your tongue against the ridge of tissue just behind your upper front teeth, and keep it there through the entire exercise. First, exhale completely through your mouth, making a gentle whoosh sound. Then close your mouth and inhale quietly through your nose to a mental count of 4. Now hold your breath for a count of 7. This is the most important part. It is where the magic happens, allowing the oxygen to fully saturate your bloodstream. Finally, exhale completely through your mouth, making that whoosh sound again to a count of 8. That is 1 breath cycle. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Repeat this for a total of 4 cycles. You will be astonished at how quickly and powerfully it calms your mind and body. It is physically impossible to remain in a state of high anxiety while breathing this way. I worked with a day trader, a man whose entire career was a roller coaster of financial stress. His health was failing. He was constantly reactive, making fear-based trades. I taught him this one technique. I told him, before you execute any trade, you must do 4 cycles of the calming breath. He was skeptical, but he was also at his wit's end. A month later he called me. He said not only had his profitability increased by over 30%, but his doctor had noted a significant drop in his blood pressure. Why? Because he was no longer trading from a place of panic. He was trading from a place of grounded, centered clarity. To amplify this ritual, I want you to create an energetic anchor. Find a small, smooth stone or a crystal, something that feels good in your hand. Or it could be a special coin or a small object that has meaning for you. Hold this object in your hand while you practice your 4 cycles of the calming breath. As you breathe, consciously infuse the feeling of deep peace, calm, and unshakable security into the object. Your intention is, I anchor the frequency of serene abundance into this object. Do this every day for a week. Now, this object is your anchor. Carry it in your pocket or place it on your desk. Whenever you feel that familiar spike of financial fear, simply hold it in your hand. Your body, through the power of associative memory, will immediately recall the state of calm you cultivated during your practice. It is a physical trigger for an energetic state. It is your instant pathway back to center. Remember, wealth is attracted to and sustained by calm, stable energy. Fear repels it. Your ability to remain grounded amidst the inevitable ebbs and flows of your financial life is not a soft skill. It is your ultimate superpower. Master your breath, and you will master your wealth. Chapter 10. The Integration Blueprint. Crafting your lifelong practice. We have traveled far on this alchemical journey. We have unearthed the hidden roots of resistance, learned to release the past, reclaim our worthiness, and transform our daily actions into sacred rituals. You now possess a powerful toolkit for the transmutation of consciousness. But a collection of tools is useless if it remains in the toolbox. The final and most critical step is integration. It is the weaving of these practices into the fabric of your daily life, not as a temporary project, but as a new way of being. Abundance is not a destination you arrive at. It is a path you walk, and that walk is made up of small, consistent daily steps. The goal here is not perfection, but persistence. It is about creating a sustainable rhythm, a personal blueprint for your ongoing evolution. Let's design that blueprint. It should be simple, adaptable, and nourishing, not overwhelming. Think of it in layers. First, your daily non-negotiables. This is the bedrock of your practice. It should take no more than 10 minutes. This is your morning alchemy from Chapter 3, the clarity breath, 3 cycles upon waking, the mirror of worth, 1 to 2 minutes of eye contact and affirmation, the sacred mantra, repeating it as you begin your day. This is it. This is the foundation. No matter how busy or chaotic your day becomes, you have started it from a place of centered, worthy, and intentional power. Second, your mindful as-it-happens practices. These are not scheduled. They are integrated into the flow of your life. They are about bringing consciousness to moments that were previously unconscious. Language repatterning, Chapter 6. Catching and reframing scarcity language the moment it arises in your thoughts or speech. The sacred flow, Chapter 7. Applying transactional mindfulness, the pause, the grateful exchange, the thank you, and the gracious thank you for receiving, Chapter 8. This happens whenever you interact with money or receive a gift or compliment. Third, your weekly deep work. This is your scheduled appointment with your role as the conscious steward of your life. Pick a day and time, perhaps Sunday evening, to dedicate 30 minutes to this. Conscious Stewardship, Chapter 7. Review your conscious cash flow plan. Do so with gratitude and a sense of empowerment, not dread. Bless your accounts. The Forgiveness Ledger, Chapter 4. You do not need to do the full, deep ritual every week. But in this weekly check-in, ask yourself, is there any financial guilt or shame that has come up for me this week? If so, take 5 minutes to write it down and create a forgiveness statement for it. Keep the channels clear. Finally, your emergency tool. This is your go-to when life throws you a curveball and you feel anxiety spike. The Grounding Ritual, Chapter 9. Use the 4-7-8. Calming breath and your energetic anchor whenever you feel fear, panic, or overwhelm around money. This blueprint is your starting point. Feel free to adapt it. The key is consistency over intensity. It's far more powerful to practice your morning alchemy for 5 minutes every single day than to do a 2-hour mega ritual once a month. And what about when you fall off the path? Because you will. There will be mornings you forget. There will be days you fall back into old patterns of speech and thought. This is not a failure. It is feedback. When you slip up, the old way of being would be to beat yourself up, creating more shame. The alchemist's way is to pause and say, interesting. This reveals a belief that still needs my loving attention. Every mistake is simply an opportunity to observe a deeper layer of your old programming. Be gentle with yourself. Be compassionate. The goal is not a perfect, uninterrupted ascent. It is a graceful, persistent dance of course correction. I leave you with this final thought. A student once came to his Zen master and said, "Master, I have been meditating for years, but I am still not enlightened. What should I do?" The master replied, "Keep chopping wood and carrying water. The journey of abundance is the same. Keep doing your rituals. Keep practicing your new language. Keep showing up for yourself day after day. The grand transformation you seek is not in some distant future. It is being forged right now, in the quiet dignity of your consistent sacred practice. Outro, abundance is who you are, and so we arrive not at an end, but at a new beginning. We have journeyed through the alchemical laboratory of your daily life, discovering the tools to transmute the lead of financial resistance into the pure gold of prosperity consciousness. You now hold the keys. The morning alchemy to set your frequency, the forgiveness ledger to release the past, the mirror of worth to reclaim your divine inheritance. You understand how to transform every financial transaction into a sacred act, and how to ground your energy in unshakable calm. These are not just ideas. They are practices. They are the bedrock of a new reality. As you move forward from this space, know that this is your work now. To integrate these rituals, to make them your own, to commit to them not as a chore, but as the ultimate act of self-love. Imagine for a moment the person you will be in 6 months, a year, after greeting each day with these sacred practices. Imagine the calm confidence, the sense of deserving, the ease with which you navigate your financial world. This is not a distant dream. It is the natural outcome of the seeds you have chosen to plant today. As our time together concludes, your journey continues. On the screen now you will find a few paths forward, curated for your transformation. On the left, you will find the Mind Over Money playlist, a collection of guided meditations and affirmations to support your daily practice. And on the right, I have personally selected our guide, the 9 Alchemical Steps to Healing, Deep Money Wounds and Reclaiming Your Worth, as the perfect next step to deepen the healing we have begun here today. Choose the path that calls to you. Remember, the goal was never to acquire abundance. The goal was, and always will be, to realize that you are abundance. The outer world is simply a reflection of this inner truth. This is Elias Vance reminding you the greatest wealth you will ever own is the knowledge of who you truly are.